So Delta Force is finally released, and we really get to see what the developers aim for when it comes to the idea of this game and how they wanted to execute it. If you guys enjoyed the last video so much, figured I'd probably cover all the new things that I noticed in this new version of the game that's changed, and some of this stuff may have not changed at all, and I might just be looking too much into it, but it has some little subtle details here and there that I picked up on, and I want to talk about them. The first thing, and I know this is a definite change, is the sniping. It feels a lot more like Battlefield, and in a really good way. The shots feel way more realistic, and me and a buddy of mine were talking about this, where there's this little sweet spot you could shoot at in the first playtest, where at a certain range, your bullet dropped off extremely. Beyond 50 to 100 feet in front of you, it just dropped down super heavy. Most of the time, you went a notch down, and it just stayed that range, depending on if you were 500 meters out or just 100 feet or something like that out in front of you. It didn't differ at all like a real bullet would. You kind of just found this little sweet spot where you may not hit their head specifically or their body, but you were going to hit them somewhere if you put them in the sweet spot. They finally changed that, and it feels like a real sniper now. The bullets actually have a drop-off curve where gradually as they get further away, they start losing velocity, they start losing their momentum. That really feels like a bullet instead of whatever the last one felt, where it just curved down out of nowhere, and it made no sense whatsoever. Sniping was already so satisfying in this game, and I must say, it's my favorite part of the game, so for them to rework it and make it even better than I enjoyed it the first time, oh my god, I'm so proud of them. Also, please add more long-range maps, because I like sniping, and it is way too fun. And maybe even make a way to vote for the map instead of, you know, just making me have to play random and keep leaving games until I get a sniping map because I'm really in the mood. Okay, secondly, and this is something that may be just a skill issue, but I feel like some of the shots that are supposed to be connecting with the ARs just don't. It feels like when I shoot, there's like this inconsistency with my bullets, and I'm hitting all of my bullets in a spray, but there's a few of the bullets in that whole mag, they just act like they never even left the barrel. And I don't really know how to show that in the footage. You have to play it yourself, and I wanted to know if other people have dealt with this issue or have this feeling. Again, I can't really put my finger on it, but I want to see if anyone else is dealing with that or if I'm just bugging and like making up something in my head. Not to say they're bad though. They handle really well, still really good customization. I hope to see more customization coming out. Really like that all the weapons have levels and it actually goes really high up instead of just, you know, you work with a gun for 2 games and it's completely maxed out. You really have to put in the time and be good with a weapon. And all the customization is so fun too. You can start with a rifle that's completely wood-sided, all wood furniture on it, and then turn right around and put all this black furniture on it that's all polymer and make it look super modernized and futuristic, just like you can in real life. Also, a complete side note to move away from the guns. I have never drove a vehicle in this game until now, and I don't know if they redid it or if that was even in the first play test, but the driving feels exactly like Battlefield 4 and Hardline combined. And those 2 games did that best, and it feels just like it, so 11 out of 10 to me. I haven't done any vehicle combat, and I'd love to see how jets work and how tanks work because, oh my god, those are my favorite in Battlefield 4, so if they handle the same as that, I'm going to fall in love. The maps also have improved a lot, and here's something I wasn't really aiming for, and I didn't notice what happened, but this impresses me about the game a lot. There's a lot of variety with these maps. From sector to sector, whenever you capture a sector, sometimes you'll move on to the next part of the map, and it feels like a completely different map. Specifically the map with the railroad and the trains, as soon as you capture those 2 concrete buildings and then move into the underground tunnels that are behind them, it feels like 2 completely different maps. They play different, they look different, they sound different. Hell, if you could smell them, they probably smell different. I don't think I've ever run into an FPS game that's ever done that for me. Not Battlefield, not Call of Duty, nothing. I've never played on the same map and it felt completely different when it moved on to a different sector. And I've played Rush on Battlefield 4 and no map just felt completely different in playstyle for me. It really impressed me and I haven't really found a map that I don't like either. Found maps I particularly like more than others, but all of them are great. They just have certain playstyles. Like for example, the big mountain map, I like to go on there and hit, you know, 720 meter snipes from the top of the hill.
Let me fucking spawn. Thank you.
Please let me kill this guy, dude. I would do anything. Holy shit! I'm going pro!
The railroad area map that I was talking about earlier, it's really good for AR combat and some snipers, like if you use an ACOG or maybe just, I don't know, stay back a little bit. The underground part of that very same map is really good for more shotguns, SMGs, and ARs because it's a little more close quarters and it's a little more like Metro, if you remember that from Battlefield 4 and 3. The trench map is, again, a lot more close range, but you can also step on top of the trench and kind of snipe people from either your spawn or their spawn. Everything just varies a lot, and it keeps the game really interesting. These matches last for like 30 minutes each, so anything to spice up these maps is amazing, and the way they did it just really impressed me, especially for being a free-to-play game. I wasn't expecting it. I think that the game has a lot of potential to be great, and not compared to the other games like I constantly do. I know I always say it's like Battlefield's replacement and all that. I'm guilty as charged, but it really does play like Battlefield. And at the same time, it's really making a name for itself in its own right. It's not a replacement as much as it is just a new FPS game that brings all the elements from the other games that we missed into one big massive game. And it's free. Now, another thing that's really cool about this game is there's this point system where you can buy stuff when you hold 5. If you hold 5, you can call in artillery strikes, barrages, you can call in vehicles. And I didn't have any footage of it, actually, because I haven't really messed with it too much. It does cost a lot to call in these because they're extremely powerful and really fun and strong, but it's really cool. And if you haven't seen them, please go play the game for yourself or look up footage of like their artillery barrage. It's really neat. You get to call in kill streaks and stuff like that. And it's a little fun way. Have some air support and stuff to make you really feel like you're in combat. It kind of reminds me of the game Squad that's really milsim-y, where you can call in like nukes and barrages and weird stuff like that. And it kind of pulls from that element. Next video, I may get more into the operator's abilities and stuff I like about that, the grenades and the different gadgets and abilities. But for now, I just kind of want to stick to the basics of the guns, the maps, everything you're going to experience the first minute you're in the game. Now, before I end this video, I know a few of you guys probably have been hearing, if you go on Steam reviews for this game, it looks pretty bad. It's mixed reviews, and there's a lot of people talking about the spyware. It's something to do with the anti-cheat and how it injects itself into your computer some weird way and sells your data off. I don't know what people are talking about. I'm not too educated on that, but it is scary. I don't really like hearing that, and I hope they redo it. So that is something to keep your eye out if you go to download it. If you value your privacy like we all should, you really do need to be careful when it comes to stuff like that. I may uninstall this game just for that, but please keep your eyes out. Regardless of that, I will leave a link down in the description for the game. It's just on Steam, and you can look up Delta Force and download the game for yourself. I just advise you be really careful. I don't want anybody to do something, get their data stolen, and then come back and be like, hey, why'd you recommend this game? Because, you know, this could go haywire in like a week and a half. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I will probably be making a video on Marvel Rivals next. It's going to come out in the next few days. I'm going to try and get some footage for y'all, and I'll bring it out probably this week. I probably won't wait around the weekend to do it. I'll probably do it in the middle of the week just so you guys can see the game. Marvel Rivals is a blast, and I really want to talk about it because there's a lot I need to get into with that game. So, anyways, I think that's it. Bye.